Before we jump into today's episode, here's a quick reminder. If you enjoy Realm News and want to keep the show going, consider joining the community at patreon.com/Realm News. You'll get early access, exclusive bonus content, and a behind-the-scenes look at everything happening at Realm News. Your support helps make every episode possible. Patreon.com/Realm News. Now let's get into the show. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to a brand new Realm News Flash. Realm News Flash number 101. I am your host, the Dark Lord. The one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. Today, we are going to hear a clip from Mint Refresh, who participated in the Smith Summit event that just recently ended. And I will also tell you about the latest snapshot that we'll hear today. It's a brief overview on that. Then there'll be another clip today. So you get two clips, folks. It'll be over this upcoming Thursday's episode with Samazon Rex. And also there is a poll time. We're going to start the show off with that that I conducted over whether or not people like the drop system. And that's a very interesting, analysis. You'll hear all the data on that, folks, coming up with a couple comments. So with that said, let's start the show with the news. Folks, we are going to start off the news cycle with some data that I collected in the form of a poll. It is a player sentiment towards Minecraft's drop system. I conducted a poll asking Minecraft players to rate their enjoyment of the current drop system on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 representing I hate it and 5 representing I enjoy it. The poll was conducted across Reddit, or r/Minecraft2 and r/Minecraft_survival, producing a combined total of 497 votes. The 3 responses received through Realm News subreddits were excluded due to the very small sample size. It just wasn't enough data, folks. The results reveal a remarkably divided player base. The overall average rating was 3.07 out of 5, with the median response also landing at 3. The largest individual group, representing 31.4% of respondents, gave the drop system a 3, suggesting that a substantial portion of players have mixed or neutral feelings towards it. Meanwhile, 37.6% of respondents rated the system positively with a 4 or 5, compared with 31% who rated it negatively with a 1 or 2. Only 14.1% gave the system the highest possible rating of 5, while 13.7% gave the lowest rating of 1. Now, wasn't that interesting? I mean, just all over the place, but pretty much, folks, it scored a 3 on the 1 through 5 scale. People are in between. They don't know if they like this or not. Very interesting. Like, it's almost just dead in the middle. It's crazy. Anyways, let's hear a couple comments from the poll that I collected. This was from live_paramedic4027, who says, quote, I love it personally. The only thing that is a gripe is that I have to wait for my mods to update, which isn't much. Having new content is always nice, and with the frequency we get, I absolutely cannot complain, end quote. Let's hear the next comment from Cludy Hepic, who says, quote, yeah, the way I see it, the game drops were just an excuse for Mojang to be lazy, end quote. Kind of inverse comments, but that reflects the poll quite well if you ask me, because people are just in between. I will have to say, I'll just go ahead and inject my opinion real quick. I agree more. I agree more with, absolutely with live_paramedic4027, who says, I love it personally. I love it too. I love the drop system. I think it's great. No complaints except for Tiny Takeover from me. I'm going to leave it at that. Anyways, let's move on to Minecraft 26.3 Snapshot 9. According to Minecraft.net article, Minecraft 26.3 Snapshot 9, written by the Java team and published on August 17th, states, Realm owners can now adjust render distance up to 25 chunks and separately configure render and simulation distance. Then we have Endermen now take damage from projectiles while riding and won't teleport onto Bedrock. So That's going to set up all new farms, I imagine, for collecting Ender eyes and this makes it easy to kill Enderman now. So that's awesome. And then we have a little bit of user interface improvement here, folks. They added right-click emulation option in Mac OS control settings, treating control plus left click as a right click. The rest is bug fixes and technical jargon I'm not going to get into in this report. Now, I would like to turn our attention to the next piece of news here with Mint Refresh, content creator and occasional co-host of Realm News Flash. They have sent me a report from the field in Smith Summit. Mint Refresh attended Smith Summit 2026, a free 2-week Minecraft server convention focused on creators, data packs, and community projects. The event featured a custom map with 3 themed zones connected by gondolas, each with unique biomes and original note block music. About 70 creator booths showcase everything from small vanilla tweaks and resource packs to full game overhauls, interactive tools, and mini games like playable chess or rock climbing. Visitors could paint on interactive canvases, explore VR-style presentations, and attend Minecraft-built panel sessions covering topics like data pack creation and role-play servers. Let's listen to Mint's clip.
Hey, it's Mint Refresh, and I'm coming in for a moment to talk about Smith Summit. So you might remember this was a quick topic of conversation in a previous Realm News Flash, but Smith Summit was a 2-week long convention on a Java Minecraft server. It's vanilla. It was free to join. Anyone can just put in the IP and get into the server, and it was a convention for just Minecraft creators. Big emphasis on data packs, but a lot of stuff. And I wanted to talk about this because as of today that I'm recording, it has wrapped up for 2026. This is the second one. First was in 2024. And I'm kind of in awe of what I saw. So I want to share a little bit about what I saw and experience with it and my thoughts. So the whole map that you go into on the server is custom built, and you start on top of a mountain, like peak area. And so there's the map is split into 3 zones. And each zone has its own set of custom biomes and its own like vibes too. So one's like more like warmer climate, one's colder, one was temperate. And also each of the 3 have their own music, which seriously, like, all the music were note block songs that were created by other people, that's really cool. Then on top of the mountain to get to into each of these zones, are gondolas, and so you jump on a gondola and you take it down the mountain. And this isn't like what you might expect many people to build with maybe use a happy gas on some sort of track or something where you're sitting on a saddled pig that's in a boat or something. Nothing like that. This was literally like a modeled gondola with doors, and it was on a cable. It has seats. It's really, really neat. So you ride this gondola down, and it gets to the bottom of whichever zone, and the doors open up. And yeah, so that's the introduction to this server and to the convention. So there's a lot of stuff to explore. There was stuff like stickers and things to collect and items, but the main attractions here were the booths. So there are, I believe, 70 total booths. And each booth is for like a different, creator or creator studio, and all these are all different types of things. Some have more or like purely like informational. Some have interactive elements, or some have a lot of interactive elements and things to do within them. But you'll find them for data packs and resource packs. There's packs that were tweak vanilla a little bit, maybe like small things, new like items, maybe even a new biome. And then there's things that completely change the Minecraft experience, like turning it into a roguelike, completely revamping the world gen. There was one that basically turned into I think there's Attack on Titan. I think there was one that like turned stuff into like stuff from Deltarune. There's booths for like showcasing like online tools for something like making skins, and then there's booths for entire coding libraries for creating packs and mods like really complex like data packs and stuff. There's ones for like entire games, like there was a Super Smash Bros. One, and like and playing that in Minecraft, and like other mini games. There was booths for maps, like different like maps that you can download and play on servers. There's and yeah, like there was a lot here, but and I can't go over all 70 or anything, but there's some that are really, really impressive that I mean, even having been to the first one 2 years ago, are still just like I'd never seen before. So there, like in one booth, I walked in and there was these canvases, and you can go up to the canvas and you get a brush, and it basically shows this whole like interactive GUI, that's like by the canvas. And it's basically like MS Paint, and you're actually painting on the canvas, and you choose your colors and everything. It's really cool. And then afterwards, I think you could take the canvas and you can like put it in different places in your world if you were to use the pack. There was one booth I went to, and I sat on a cushion, and there's a screen, and it basically puts on these VR goggles onto you. And you're looking at this presentation about geologic time, as in like the history of Earth. It's just really neat. There was a section that was talking about the Minecraft Middle Earth server, where they're basically recreating, Tolkien's world from Lord of the Rings. There was a area where you can just go with someone else and play checkers, or chess, and they had like all the pieces that were modeled, and you can like basically pick up and put down and play a game. Actually, there's a few of these in one of these zones where there's like these rock walls where you go up to and you click, and basically the camera like basically zooms out from where you are, and you're in third person. You're climbing a rock wall, which is really neat. One booth, you go in, there was a whole thing for like building a nuclear reactor, for like a tech data pack. But yeah, like some of the stuff was really, really incredible. I mean, even if you're not familiar with like you don't have to be familiar with, data packs or anything to join the server or be interested in this, because it's just cool things. It is vanilla Minecraft pushed to its absolute limits. And that is really was what this convention was for. But also, one of the other big attractions is that there were panels across these 2 weeks. So there's a lot of different topics from stuff for creating packs, and there was stuff for talking about like ideas and brainstorming, and mini games, and just like there was one I think we actually took note of when the Dark Lord and I were talking about this, that was called Beating Boredom, the Creation of Play, which sounds like is, something that you don't have to be a creator or anything to be able to probably go in and find something like interesting. There's one on role play servers. So if you liked things like perhaps like Civilization, events like Rich and Poor, like stuff like that, you can go in and probably hear some people talk about it and like give a presentation on it. And these really are presentations. Like you go into a part of the world, or in many of these like areas, there's these areas and there's like seats. So one of them in particular was basically like a big amphitheater, and so that had kind of like bleacher seating. And then there's one area where you go in and there's big screen and there's like beanbag chairs, and you would go, and that's where it'd probably be some of the presentations. And it's really are like players going up there on the stage, and they're basically going through PowerPoint presentations, but it's literally in Minecraft. Stuff like that is really cool. And most of them, if not all of them, but at least a lot of them were, streamed. And so you can actually watch those recordings on YouTube, which is what I'm going to have to do because couldn't make any of them. I've been really busy. But yeah, so you can go in, and of course, like the audio was previously in Discord, but otherwise you're watching people stand on a stage in Minecraft giving a presentation in Minecraft, which is just the type of thing that you don't necessarily think when you think of going and playing Minecraft or joining a Minecraft server. But that's where I think this really gets interesting with Smith Summit. We just had these comments from I believe it was Asha Sharma that was talking about what she wants for the future of Minecraft. And one of the comments was something along the lines of having it become the world's creation platform. And I know the Dark Lord talked about this in a Realm News Flash. Like, this is basically what this is. Smith Summit really was just the absolute demonstration of Minecraft being the world's creation platform. Between all these ways to change your world, from small tweaks to completely overhauling the world gen, to there was one area that had all these kind of like arcade games and stuff that you can play, to turning into a roguelike game that's completely unlike what you're normally doing in Minecraft, to as I said, having a canvas and actually, painting whatever, or standing up on a stage that you've built and giving a PowerPoint. This is what Smith Summit is about, and it really, demonstrates and highlights that future that was being talked about, which, I mean, this has been going on for a bit now. Again, the first one of these conventions for Smith was in 2024. That's the type of thing that I think is really inspiring, and again, just not what you would generally think of when thinking about Minecraft, but that is what the game is able to do as a platform and as a medium. Honestly, I think that's really cool. Of course, the convention is over, so hopefully there is another one in not too long in the future, because these are great and I will be attending as long as those are going for. The panels are online on the Smith YouTube channel, so I recommend, if any of this interests you, to go take a look at those, maybe learn something interesting about creating packs or really just Minecraft as a platform. But I'm kind of in awe of what I saw from this convention. I mean, it's just so cool. But that is all from me, so I am going to hand it back to the Dark Lord. But I will see you all later, and have a good one.
Very awesome. I watched the video on the History of Earth booth, their YouTube one. Video that's out there, folks. In fact, it's in the episode description. Works cited. Go click on that, check it out. And it just looks super cool, the whole event. That video shows it all. Well, not everything. Obviously, it's just more of the summary of the event. But check that link out. But no, that's so cool to hear from Mint. I can't imagine what it was like to be there in front of it all. The panels sound like fun, too. Sounds like a very educational event with all the PowerPoint presentations and booth setup and whatnot. Thank you, Mint Refresh, so much for that fantastic report from the field. It sounds like an amazing event. Perhaps I'll be seeing you there next year myself. Now that we have the news all covered for this week, I didn't want to get into fourth dimensional stuff. There's a lot of that going on, folks. Controversy that, I don't know, just a lot of stuff going on about fourth dimension. I do have a poll going on right now over that, so I'm going to save all that for when the poll's done. I would like to now move on to the next portion of the show, where we will hear another clip, but it's to this upcoming Thursday's Realm News with content creator Samazon Rex. Another beautiful morning on the open sea. Just me, the ocean, and absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, got one. Come on, come on. Yes. A bull? In the middle of the ocean? I caught a bull? Listeners of Realm News, are you tired of fishing for hours and catching everything except fish? Now, with 20% more fishing, scientifically tested in oceans, rivers, and even your Minecraft worlds. Fish! Another fish! Another fish! The Omdi Industries Deluxe Fishing Rod, featured on Realm News. Because sometimes you just want to catch a fish. Although I still don't know what I'm supposed to do with that bull. This week, I have the honor of having Samazon Rex on Realm News. This upcoming Thursday, I welcome Minecraft content creator Samazon Rex to the show. Sam shares the hilarious origin story behind her unique name, her first night survival disaster, and how her husband introduced her to the game during the pandemic. She dives into her creative process on the Stray SMP server, where she's building her ambitious Fishbowl Oasis base, her love for organic storytelling and builds, and why she blends survival grinding with creative tools like Axiom. From early server woes and public server nerves to YouTube content creation struggles, algorithm woes, and her favorite monochromatic builds. This conversation is packed with laughs, inspiration, and Minecraft passion. Let's listen to the clip.
I think about that a lot. And if I had to pick just one, I think it'd be a build that's currently on the Astrea server, and it's part of my main base called the Night Market.
Ooh, explain that to me.
Yeah, so the kind of the backstory behind it is the majority of kind of went off on it earlier. So the majority of my builds at the desert base are like sandstone, and the cliffs consist of like terracotta and granite and packed mud. So we got all those browns and muted color tones. That is so boring. And then after working with that for so long, I wanted to make something more colorful and extravagant and eye catching. So like I got the idea of like an open air market with like having a bunch of stalls and a big colorful plaza area and a fountain in the center just surrounded by flowers and firefly bushes, and like it's really lovely. Most of these stalls they're in the market are for show, but some of them actually like sell stuff. Like for example, I have one where I sell music discs, and all the stalls are decorated with a little armor stand scene of like vendors selling their wares. So like it feels nice and
Nice.
alive there.
That night market she's describing, that was just so cool to hear about on the show. You'll have to listen in, folks, and hear all about it in detail. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to give you too many details. You don't want to miss this week's discussion with Samazon Rex. It's part 1 out of 2. It's a series. Yes, 2 parts. So don't miss it, folks. I'll see you there this Thursday. With that said, I wish you all a great day and happy crafting. The Dark Lord. Signing out. Hey, Realm News fans, it's your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am here to tell you that your support means everything. Spread the word by telling friends, liking, and commenting on Spotify or Good Pods. Find me on X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or via email at bio.link/Realm News. For more content, join my Patreon at the Copper tier for early episodes, bonus content, and newsletters. Find out more at bio.link/Realm News. No pressure though. Just keep listening, liking, and sharing. That's more than enough. Happy crafting, and see you at the next Realm News.